Hey everybody, Zach Holt here, Whitetail Properties, Southern Indiana, coming at you from my own property here, Vintucky Falls in beautiful Crawford County, Indiana. It's our cabin here in the background. We've got a contractor here doing some work. When I had my logger here, I had him, the previous owner had allowed trees to grow up on the pond dam. And so my logger, while he was here, he was gracious enough to doze what he could and get the bigger trees down, but he didn't quite have the finesse that this guy does, and he brought his dozer in here, and there were still stumps in here, and there were great big holes where the previous guy had stumped out a couple, and he came in here and he did all this with just his dozer. He's got basically that root rake that he'll put on the front of a skid steer, and he'll go down through here and he'll rake up all these roots, and he's going to get it ready to seed. We've got rain in the forecast, and so this is my pond dam here. As you can see, it's low. I've got a spot here we're going to get fixed. Just I don't know if it was a muskrat hole or just maybe just a seep hole. Looks like a classic seep hole to me in my dam. But that's all wet and nasty, and that's about as high as the pond will ever get. And really, it should be up about right there. That's the watermark line. And it would be a much different looking pond if it was that high. So he's gonna mow this bank off. He's got an attachment on his little Mini that he's gonna bring tomorrow and get everything off around this pond. And then the next thing is with that Mini here, we're gonna scoop this out. He'll scoop it all the way across the pond, and he'll scoop it out until he stops finding crawdad holes and little pinholes, and then he'll take it and he'll pack it back in as hard as he can, and that's supposed to be how you do it. So he's basically, what we did is we were having some water issues on our driveway. This driveway actually has pretty good slope, and it was washing. The previous owner was trying to actually create some sort of a retaining wall and stop the water, but unsuccessful. So basically we needed more parking anyway. This is a roundabout here, and everyone just blocks the driveway because they just stack up. So we needed some parking, and we're gonna make this area right here enough to hold at least 3. If you doubled them up, you could do 6 cars. He's gonna make my pad. We had a ton of material that we were able to drag down, and we just took that driveway and we canted it this way, so everything runs down to this pond. He has plumbed in my gutters, and he has it dropping out right here above the pond. He's got to do this side yet, but that's really quick, short work for a guy that has that Mini. He could plumb that together in no time. But today's project was basically getting this ready to seed. He's gonna probably do that root rake across this this evening. And we're gonna go ahead and get this thing seeded with winter ryegrass and fescue. So we're gonna be able to mow it, once a year, or burn it once a year, and we'll be fine once it gets established. So still a lot of logging slash, that we have to deal with, but the most important thing is this right here, because once we can get this thing livable and I can stay here with my family, then I can concentrate on all the endless habitat projects that I've got in store to share with y'all. So man, super pumped, super excited. I cannot believe this is what we're doing. I mean, so follow along, but this is what I do for a living. So why not put my knowledge and my connections with fantastic contractors to use for my own good? And I want to share that. It is expensive using contractors, but maybe it comes with age, and I don't know, but I learned a while ago that it does not pay for me to stop what I do to go do a job that I'm not qualified to do. My money, my time, my family's time is better spent with me focusing on what I do best and letting the professionals focus on what they do best. And this dude is awesome. This dude's named Kenny, and my logger introduced me to him, and he is something else. He is literally the answer to my prayers. Every person that we've worked with, every contractor we worked with has been pretty awesome. We don't have a single complaint about anyone yet. Everyone's been super cool, valuable, and the other thing is that, well, why wouldn't they be? These are people that we've used on a ton of properties up to this point. So we have history with all these contractors. Me and Kenny, this is our first thing, but dude, he's amazing. So he's an asset, and he just talked to me about getting him some more work and keeping him busy with stuff like this, because this is what he likes to do. And I was like, well, there you go. Me and Chris were just talking about how cool would it be to have a connection with someone and maybe even invest in his business and have that reliable resource that we can count on to direct our clients to. I know that sounds salesy and cheap, but it's the truth. If you're from Atlanta and you buy a farm in southern Indiana, you need someone like us to be able to help you figure all this out. I mean, even like where to get the trash taken care of, and you know, what water department we're hooked up to, all this stuff, all these projects. Honestly, patience, some money for sure, and just working with the right people. And all this stuff has happened, and it really hasn't costed me all that much yet. And one of the most expensive things I've got coming is I've got 30 trees around this cabin marked to be taken out. And I've already got quite a bit of money invested in this place, and I can't afford to drop, you know, both of these red oaks on it. I'm gonna hire this done, and it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna change what the feeling around this cabin. It's gonna change it. It's gonna make this cabin pop on this hillside. It's gonna get sun on my logs, which is gonna dry out the cabin, which is good. And we're gonna get fire across this landscape in the spring, and I cannot wait. I've got a ton of chainsaw work to do before we get to that point, but today was an unbelievable day. Wow, this right here is an unbelievable huge difference. How good does that look? We don't even have a gravel down. Take care, guys. Vintucky Falls, I love you. See ya.